Mortal Kombat is such a beloved, massive franchise, and unfortunately, the last few releases have been less than perfect. We have seen female characters looking masculinized, we have seen features be lacking from these titles, and Mortal Kombat 1 was pretty hyped up, but it is getting absolutely fatality from fans over the Switch port, and also, of course, other things as well, like the Megan Fox voice acting, and people are just all around not very happy with this release. I have a few different things that I want to show off, but before we get into the topic, if you enjoy the content that I create, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Follow me on social media so you can see when my content is posted, and of course, if you do really enjoy the videos and live streams I create, consider becoming a Dark Titan via Patreon or a supporter via YouTube memberships. So of course I have talked about the Switch port, but now that, more people are playing it, it is just a disaster. I mean, it is getting absolutely destroyed by everyone. I have not seen a single comment online that has said, wow, I'm happy with the Switch port, or wow, the Switch port is actually good. So starting with this Games Radar article, it says Mortal Kombat 1 Switch port gets a fatality from fans over quality concerns. Now, I think we all expected the Switch version of this game to be pretty bad. I gotta be honest, I think that we all were expecting it to be of lesser quality, just not as good of graphics, or it just doesn't run as well, but I don't think we were expecting it to be this bad. I mean, this is an unacceptable level of bad. If this game was like $20 to $30 on the Switch, I'd be perfectly fine with it, because of course we know that the Switch is not as powerful as the other consoles, but it's not. It is a $70 release, and there is no way they should have found this quality acceptable for a full price AAA title. It says Mortal Kombat 1's Nintendo Switch port is being widely lambasted for its graphics and character models. NetherRealm series reboot launched just last week across PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo. The game seems to have done pretty well with both critics and fans alike, but it's the version of the game on the final platform that has a lot of players doing a double take. Now, they say that it's pretty widely received in a positive way. I wouldn't necessarily agree with that. I mean, if we go over to Metacritic and we look at the scores are not great for users no matter what platform you're on. I mean, this is the PlayStation 5 version, and it's sitting at a 6.2, and this is for a wide variety of reasons. Of course, they do not have online multiplayer for Russian and Belarus players, which of course has upset a lot of people, and that has led to some of the scores being lowered, but some of the character models are issues with people. You have, of course, the lineup of characters, and people are kind of roasting it over the Megan Fox voice acting. So there's like a plethora of issues here, but as you can see, it's still at a 6.2, and there's only one critic review for the Switch, which is a little bit bizarre, seeing as there's like 40 to 50 on the other platforms, but on the Switch it's just one, and it's a 40, so we can't really judge what critics are saying about the Switch version, but if they are rating it positively, it just seems like shill reviews at this point. Going back to the article, though, people are, tweeting things like, what's going on with Mortal Kombat 1 Switch? What even is that version of the game? And I mean, some of the images we have seen online are absolutely nightmare fuel. Like, Johnny Cage, just look at this. The Switch version of Mortal Kombat 1 is the greatest garbage port ever, just for the memes alone. I mean, there is just no way that they thought that this was acceptable. It looks so terrible. Again, if this was not a full price title, okay, that's one thing, but this is a $70 game that clearly does not warrant that price tag. I mean, this is absolute nightmare fuel. Why even bother making a Switch port at that point? There's, of course, a lot of fighting game fanatics out there that say all they care about is the mechanics, and I get that. People who love and enjoy card games like Magic the Gathering say the same thing, but if that's the case, then why do we need graphics at all? Have every fighter be a stick figure. We don't need backgrounds. We don't need any of the bells and whistles. And the difference in characters will just be, their actual abilities. Is that what you want? Most likely not. The aesthetics, the artwork, costumes, the story, that all matters, and you're not going to convince me otherwise. That is absurd, especially with Mortal Kombat. One of the reasons people have loved the franchise is not just because of the unapologetic gore, but because of the story behind the tournament, the story between the different realms, the characters, lots of different costume options. The characters have different personalities and big stories, and it all matters. You also have this Dexerto article that says Mortal Kombat 1 players claim Switch port is nearly unplayable. This is unfortunate as well. It does not run well. People are saying over on the Nintendo Switch Reddit, warning Mortal Kombat 1 is nearly unplayable. On the Switch, the player writes that there's a noticeable delay when pausing the game during combat, navigating menus, particularly those showcasing character profiles. It's also laggy, and switching between characters often takes several seconds. I mean, this is just not okay by any stretch of the means. And then you also have not only the quality problems when it comes to it running, but you also have some decisions that they made that people are not very on board with. We, of course, have the Megan Fox situation. Mortal Kombat 1 fans are not happy with Megan Fox's voice acting performance. I do think that there are some actors out there who are so fantastic at their job, they can play a character in a live action film or TV series like Megan Fox has done in the past, but they can also go to voice acting, and unfortunately, Megan Fox is not that woman. Her voice just sounds awful in this. Honestly, a lot of people think that it's not even her, but it's actually an AI of her, and she just like signed contracts and was like, yeah, you can use my voice. There's a lot of people speculating that because of how heartless and unemotional her performance is. It just sounds very generic, which I personally did not expect anything else from Megan Fox. I mean, they've already tried this with Ronda Rousey in the past, and that went terrible. They need to stop bringing celebrities into the mix because these celebrities do not care about the franchise. They have no passion for the franchise, and it doesn't really bring any new fans in. It just brings negativity to your title because people are having to post articles like this and go to social media and make posts about how unhappy they are with the performance and like how bad and unprofessional the performance was. So it really only brings negativity to them. I understand they think it's like some new cool edge to bring a celebrity in because there are other games that have celebrities, like Destiny had Lance Reddick, which, you know, unfortunately they have to recast now, but he did a fantastic job. So there are examples of, you know, actors going and doing voice acting and being good, but unfortunately they're just picking like the worst of the worst, and Megan Fox's performance just has not sat well with fans. And of course, I've also talked about it, but people are also still not really happy with the character models. A lot of the females are still kind of masculinized. There was quite a bit of hypocrisy with this launch because out of all of the, you know, male characters we saw, they were, you know, pretty skippy. I mean, they were just wearing shorts. A lot of them were not wearing shirts, or their abs and their muscles were showing. And then, of course, you have the females, which are completely covered up and their body proportions are toned down. So quite a lot of hypocrisy to throw in there as well. But yeah, just not a very good situation all around, as you can see. At this point, NetherRealm has not really addressed the Switch issues, and I hope they do for anyone who purchased it and are expecting them to put out patches and make it run better. At the end of the day, I think that we can all expect them to put the least amount of work into this as possible, because there's no way that they can make this run, you know, 100 times better than it already does. It's unfortunate that the Switch version is a full price nightmare, but it is what it is. The Switch port is getting absolutely fatalitied from fans over quality concerns. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this and of course found it important and informative, make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.